Longer than the Vietnam War, longer than the Korean War, the war in Afghanistan is America's longest war. After almost a decade, U.S. President Barack Obama announced on Wednesday that 10,000 troops will return by the end of the year, with a total of 33,000 troops back in the U.S. by the end of next summer.
Starting next month, we will be able to remove 10,000 of our troops from Afghanistan by the end of this year, and we will bring home a total of 33,000 troops by next summer.
The drawdown, however, will still leave 68,000 troops in Afghanistan in the fall of 2012. While the president stressed that the drawdown comes from a position of strength, veteran international correspondent and author Paul Starobin believes the U.S. strategy is merely tactical.
This kind of core strategic objective of going after, the bad guys in the war on terror. I mean, this I think very much continues, and it's going to be driven just at a different level of special operations, probably, and the technology of war, drone warfare that we're now developing.
In his book, 5 Roads to the Future, Power in the Next Global Age, Starobin argues that these days in Washington, several varieties of denialism regarding America's role in the world are evident.
I think the denial that we see, particularly kind of amongst a generation of policymakers and diplomats and statesmen who've grown up during this time of the American century, is just a reflection of this, America having this kind of dominant, paramount role in the world, and that has begun to change somewhat. But there hasn't been a kind of mental adjustment. I think we are still, overextended.
The Afghan war will cost U.S. taxpayers about $113 billion. That's roughly $2 billion a week in the current fiscal year. So while, like every other issue these days, lawmakers are divided on the president's decision, and with a whooping 64% of Americans against the Afghan war, the president's troop withdrawal plan may be too little, too late. While some might argue that Barack Obama's decision was not political, observers find it hard to believe that election year 2012 didn't play into the equation of the current U.S. president's recent announcement of partial troop withdrawal from Afghanistan. Susan Madaris, Press TV, New York.